Welcome, my name is Jack, and this is Mini Metro, a game that I have fell in love at first sight. It is so much fun. I've had a lot of fun playing it. I've played way too much of it in the last few days, and I just really want to show it off to you guys. It's a puzzle/strategy game, very minimalist in its appearance, but really, really deep, and I guess deeper than what it gives off in terms of the gameplay. You're building metro stations. We're going to jump straight into it, but before I go any further, I need to say this is a game in beta, in early access. It's on Steam and Humble Store. There's quite a few game modes missing. There's not even any audio, but Disasterpeace is making it, and they are amazing. Even better is that it's made in New Zealand. Now, I'm a Kiwi myself. I love games made in New Zealand, and I'm just blown away at the quality of this game, and I just got to really support some local game makers. So I want to jump straight in. The best way to see how this game works is to play it. I played a bit of it. If you see my New York score, that's pretty good. I'm number 56 on the leaderboard at the moment. Well, if I check the leaderboard, now 64. Well, that's a bit depressing, but we've put way too much time on this, my wife and I, the last couple of days. I'm going to play a brand new map. I'm going to play St. Petersburg. Let's jump straight in. So you're building a train layout. Think of the metro layouts that I've seen in London. And these are our stations. We've got the square, circle, and triangle stations. And we can build a track. Like so. Here's the red track. It uses a tunnel or a bridge. I can't remember which one it is in this map. And here is a square person. A person wanting to go to the square station. He's on the train carriage. He's getting picked up. That is just the concept of the game. You take people from their starting location to their destination. Now, it's not as unique as in, see, there's two triangles. If there's someone triangle here, it doesn't actually matter which one they want to go to, which is really good. It's not realistic in that sense, because if I want to go to the mall, it's not like there's probably a particular mall I want to go to. But in this game, thankfully, it can be any triangle, and that makes it a lot more forgiving. But there are unique shapes later on. I call them the uniques, and we'll talk about the effect they have in the game a bit further on. But what are the general strategies, or how does the game work? Stations appear over time, and the map is slowly zooming out. It's very, very slow, and the balance in this game is perfect. And you have this track, and I can manipulate it. I love the fact that I can just drag and drop. It's currently on PC, Mac, and Linux, but it's soon, I think it's on Linux. Don't confirm me on that, but it's soon coming to tablets on Android and iOS. It would be amazing on a tablet. What you want to do is just survive as long as you can before the stations get overcrowded, where it has about 6-7 people at one station, and then there's like a meter that fills up. We'll get to that eventually. And it's just the high score you can get about people delivered. Currently, we're at 14. Lots of squares. I'm just dragging this out. We can have multiple lines, and we can have up to 7 line colors. And currently, I'm only using 1. We can have trains, so I could have 3. I've got extra lines to use and extra trains. And so I could have 3 lines with 1 train on each, or 1 line with 3 trains. And so there are advantages to both, and we'll see that later on. Carriages allow an extra carriage at the back of a train, so it can take 12 instead of 6. And then we've got a limited number of tunnels or bridges. I'm talking quite fast, I apologize. It's just because I'm so excited about the game. Now, there is a timer on the top right, and that is ticking along. It's nearly the end of Sunday, and at the end of Sunday, it is the end of the week. And it gives us some more perks. So we'll see in a moment. It's a new week, we get a new locomotive. And now we either get a line or a carriage. I'm going to take a carriage because I don't really need a line for the moment. Well, that's my understanding. And I'm going to chuck a carriage on the line here. So now we can take a lot more people. Now, you see here we've got a line going back and forth. And you're probably thinking, well, it's taking a long time for him to get over there. Well, our first unique. What we can do, we can drag it and we can make it into a loop. There are advantages and disadvantages to this. I like having trains going in both directions, and thankfully there are ways you can trigger them to go into both directions. But I think the loop is a good general way, because this is about to get overcrowded, and it means that it's a... Actually, I'll wait till he goes through and then I'll expand it out. It gives the most amount of time, or the least amount of time. Like if he was going back and forth, there's going to be a lot of time before he gets back to that station. But with a loop, it's a bit more general. So I've got someone overcrowding here. That meter's going up. If that goes all the way around, we lose. That's essentially it. And now that it's gone off, it goes back down again. That's the whole game. So let's expand this out a bit more. It's getting quite a bit busy, but I'm sure our training carriage can handle it. There's a lot of people there. Now, you've got to be quite conservative on your bridges or tunnels. It hasn't told us which one it is for this map, but they have the same influence. You've got a certain number, and here we can only use a certain number of them. So we've got to be quite careful. So I couldn't do this, I wouldn't have enough. But I could do something like that. Now I've got a unique. And the thing with uniques, well, actually let's talk about shape placement and then we're going to go on to uniques, because I think shape placement is more crucial to start off with. The order of the shapes on your line can really matter, and that is only important because they don't have, with non-uniques, I'm going to pause it like FTL because they're getting quite full and I'm worried we're going to lose. They're quite unique, and not like real life, I want to go to a certain destination. Imagine all of these were circles. I would get to the first couple of stations and they'd probably be picking up who are triangles and squares, and I wouldn't have those opportunity to drop them off, and that can make it quite difficult. Now, see how there's only one square? This is a good way to demonstrate it. We've only got one square, and if you've seen our train, it's mostly squares, and it's because we're picking them up here and we're not getting the opportunity to drop them off, and they're clogging up the train. When we get to here, we're not going to be able to pick people up and we're going to have to go straight through. That can be a major issue. Now, hopefully we can get a square to spawn over here. That means we can make them go into that, because you can't go to the same station twice. So, I'm pretty sure you can't. I've never been able to do it. It's quite important. Now, with uniques, you've got to be careful with multiple lines. And I think it's time to bring in a second line. Let's keep going. And we're going to bring a second line. You just drag out from a point. Let's make these a line there. And then to disconnect an existing line, you just... is he going to be able to pick up anyone? No, he's going to have to go straight through. You just loop it through. So you just push it through. It's like a needle. Actually, let's go to that triangle. Like so. Oh, this is where it gets annoying because we do not have enough trains. How are we going to do this? Let's disconnect. Oh, like so. We need to get to here, but we've only got one tunnel, so we can one bridge. We can go like that. That would be one way to do it. Getting a bit crowded. Locomotive. Okay, cool. It is tunnels. Let's pause. We're getting a bit of overcrowding. We're going to need to deploy a lot more. So with the uniques, with this blue line, if we were picking, what do we got? Pentagons. If we're picking up pentagons, we're going to have to dump them into these stations so the red line can take it to that destination. That can cause issues because you're dumping people into a station. You're giving it more people than it usually would have, and you're going to make sure your other route can take that excess. So what have we got? We've got some tunnels. This is good. It means we can... Actually, let's do that. I'll rearrange this in a moment to be a bit more natural. We've still got an extra line and extra train. I might deploy an extra line just to do like these core ones, and we can expand the red one out later. Or, this is where the thinking really comes into play. Or we can deploy an extra train. And actually, extra train is maybe preferable. On the red line, I think we'll put an extra train on the red line. And hopefully it should go in the opposite direction. If it doesn't, I can show you the trick to make it go in the right direction. Oh, it's going in the right direction. And I'm thinking we'll put the other one on the blue line, because they're only going to grow, and we'll just handle the situation here. So you might have seen, I don't know. I hope your observation skills are up there. The symbol up there, I presume it's a circle because there's those shapes there, has turned to a plus. Another one of our uniques. Interesting so far. Our uniques are both on this side. The map that we did really well in, all the unique shapes, I think there's 4 in total so far that I've seen, were all in one location. That was really, really good. We could have one line that did them all, and then other lines that could take it. But currently, this blue line, for example, is a long way away from these uniques. The blue line won't touch them, and if I did, it kind of seems like a bit excess. Travel time... Oh, the blue ones are going the same way now. If we do this, in a moment, one of them should go the other way. He'll turn around. Cool. Now I've got 2 trains going in opposite directions. How do I want to do this? Let's go like that, and then like that. There we go. The reason that one went so well was that the uniques were placed... I guess in a really good way. Oh, that blue train there was like, what? The here symbolizes that the line's going past the station, not through it. Alright. That's fine. And hopefully this blue line, because these are the 2 drop-off points for it, I could take this one out, but I might as well help the red line. it gives opportunities to drop them off, but there's going to be a lot of people being dropped off at the square station. I feel like I can take that out. But it depends. Do you want to have one station where everybody's being dumped, or do you want to go a situation where you've got multiple smaller stations and there you can have, I guess, more changeover points, but they're very intelligent in who they pick up and why. It's hard to describe it, but if there was a line, not a loop, he would only pick up passengers if he was going in the right direction to the station. He wouldn't pick it up if he was just going to go past it with it. He'll pick them up on the way back. So that's pretty clever. We've got one tunnel. I don't think we're going to need any more. We could probably make do. So let's go with a carriage. And I'm going to chuck the carriage on, I think, the blue line. The red line, they're both similar size. So let's chuck it on here. So it's not going too bad for the moment. And it can be a bit of a slow-paced game at times. We're only up to nearly 300 people. You see, this train here, though, is going straight through there because of all those circles in a row. So a way to go around that would be to do that. Right, we have a star, and that is a weird spot for the star to be in. By the way, one more thing that I need to explain. You can't have lines go through other lines. If it went through the station, though, then that could do it. It would allow me to. So, for example, here, it's because they're going through stations that it works. I kind of want to make the blue one go up to that unique line. We've probably used all our tunnels now. We have. But that counts as a tunnel. Of course it does. Because that means if we pick up stars, we don't have to transfer them. We can just deal with it. But I think for the moment, that's the wrong color. The blue one is going to have to come out to there instead. Wait, then the blue one should be able to get to there. Why can it manage one of them but not that? When there's small areas of water, it's hard to tell. I think this is actually counted as one tunnel. I've got a green line, by the way, but I've got no tunnels for it. Could deploy the green line, but I do have some trains up our sleeve. We could change this red line a bit so it doesn't deal with as many of these shapes and have a green line that just focuses on these ones. The red line kind of shortcuts through them, but it still does that large distance to pick up those uniques. So how about we go with that? We're going to put the green through, essentially, probably just through these ones here. And now let's get the red. Oh, the red's going to have to go through some of them, so that means there's no crossover. Now, I'm going to leave the square in, because, yeah, I think that's a good spread of shapes, and the green can deal with the rest of them. The stars in here, it can't be dropped off, because this seems to be counted as one. We've got a lot there, though. Can we put the blue? This must be counted as one. If I made it any further, it must be counted as two. But now we can solve that issue. Well, we're going to have to take tunnels, because we've got this issue now. Things got a lot trickier. Okay, so we dealt with that. This is a bit of a nightmare. Green, you need to get a move on. Actually, we'll make the red go there as well, because the red can handle a bit more of the stress, because it's got that carriage. He's going to come through and pick those up in a moment. We've still got 2 trains up our sleeve. Thinking about putting another one on the blue line, because that blue line's getting pretty large. The red line's got we've got the unique over here. Okay, we're going to definitely put another one on the blue line. I just think to handle with the changeover traffic, that's going to be really useful. So, a bit of waiting involved in this game, but I kind of like that. This is the normal mode. I think it's balanced perfectly. When we did our 4,000 run, it was always a bit edgy, but if we just made some smart decisions, changed some things around, saw what the problems were, we could deal with it. And that was really cool. There's a triangle here. That's actually really good, because there weren't very many triangles over here. We've got a lot of circles over here, though, which is still pretty lame. We could put the blue up through that triangle, but it seems a bit excessive for the moment. Yeah, I think if we had them just go through all these shapes here, it means we couldn't drop off those triangles. I think that triangle's in a really good spot. Even though it looks like a long trip, I think it's worth it. Balance is great at the moment, but it is the, hello green, the Zen mode and the extreme mode that I'm looking forward to. Actually, I think this mode's perfectly balanced, but Zen mode, the start of this game, I find really relaxing. I find it really, really enjoyable. Alright. Let's get the boil in there as well. See, this guy here can't do anything. He has to go all the way there. But this guy can come here and deal with pretty much all of those guys, which is great. All but one. Now, why isn't he taking that one? Because it's still got that one square over here. Why didn't you pick up that square? Maybe it was leaving it for that guy to pick it up. Well, just as it gets over the top, the big guy comes in. Locomotive. A tough one. Possibly going to go with carriage. Because I think next time we can go for a line. Yeah, let's go for a carriage. Carriage, I think I can put it on the red line. Oh, there's our last unique, I think. So if we look at it now, we've got one here. So in the top two, we've got our diamond, our star, we've got our quadrant. Oh, that's 5. Our pentagon and our plus. They're actually everywhere. That's probably not a great thing. But I think this kind of shape here, that doesn't look that great, will be good. There's a lot of uniques being dumped by the green line here. So, green line can't deal with that much. I think the carriage should go on the red, and then another train on the blue, possibly. Trying to just keep my eyes. If I could have some stat graphs, that'd be really good. There's a lot of shapes over here. The red can deal with them. Now, do I want more pickups? Or do I want more trains? I think I want to put the carriage on the red. Oh, I want to put, look at all those. Jeez. Oh, a square. That's brilliant. I want to put the carriage on the blue because there's so many. But because the red can disperse with a lot more, because more of the uniques are there, I feel like that's where I want to put it. That's where my brainy side is like, Jack, this is what you should do, man. And put the, we should do that now. And put the train on the blue, because it just needs to be picked up more often. So I'll put them there. There's a lot of people here. If it gets really bad, we still have one more train up our sleeve, and we can put the train on the red. So the blue now will have 4 trains. You can have 4 trains per line. That's an important fact, and something I didn't realize when I went for a grand strategy of just trying to have one massive line, which is a bit silly. Now, we need to make... Do we not have enough tunnels? I feel like... Yeah, you should be able to do that. He's now heading in the other direction. So I've dealt with this. There's a lot of trains here. Is that that's a train in the carriage. We've only actually got 2 trains on the red, which is surprising. There's a lot of shapes stacking up. We're coming into Sunday morning. These are getting pretty big. This one's massive. Considering it's just a circle station, it always seems to be massive. Where's that green train gone? It's right here. It's going in the wrong direction, just as that goes over the top. So this is our issue. These are our issues. Okay, we've got a locomotive. Well, I think we're gonna have to go carriage. I don't think we need tunnels. If there are more things out here, we can make things happen. The blue one is using so many tunnels at the moment, and we could change things around. So I'm gonna go carriage. That means we've got a load of trains and things. We can deal with this. I think a train and a carriage on the red. Again, because it's just got... Gotta make sure what color I put it on. Because it's just going to pick up a whole lot more. Of course, you're over there. The map, while the maps don't seem like they do much, they do have a pretty big effect. And I think I have to put that train on the green. If that doesn't pick up any there... Yeah, okay, so the train's going to have to go on the green. I could put it on the red, but I feel like the red's got so much now. Pick up people. There's a lot of people there. So now we're out of all resources. No trains, no carriages, no tunnels. This, you need to pick these people up. That's an issue. Can we rework this? Not really. This is just out in the middle of nowhere, and there's no way that the squares and the triangles can get the service that they need. Unless we make that happen, which would actually be really, really good. We just need one more tunnel for it. And doing that is nearly impossible. Which way is these blues going? Triangle right here. Sure, green can go there. That might help the green. We really need to get rid of this. I want that red one to go there. But this train's coming in, he should be able to deal with most... Oh, he should be able to get rid of the overcrowding. See, he just went straight through. Get rid of most of them, but still, it's not great. Got to keep an eye out for those indicators, because the indicators can be quite supple. The pulsing, really good. It's really needed. So here, there's lots of trains. That's about to empty. That station will just, yep, it's gone. What here again? That red one can handle more now. The red one's got a lot of big trains on it. So let's make it do more. You can't pick up enough. You need to pick up more people. Okay, it's Friday. It's Saturday morning. And we can do an emergency route and do this. And he's going to have to go straight through there. He'll ditch these ones. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. You got to go now. Stop. Pick them up. Pick them up. Whew. Yeah, no emergency there. Do we need them to pick up those? We'll go without it for the moment. Whew, that was close. Not close at all. We're up to nearly 1,200 people. That's really good. Blue's still in the strain. I want to bring blue up here, shorten the blue track, and put a new line here. But touching those uniques is really crucial. Okay, new locomotive. Oh. If I put a new line in, where will I put it? I could make it deal with just this mainland. Or I could put a new carriage in and pick up more people. I think I'll go for the line this time. Through all these stations. Like so. Because we don't have any more tunnels, we can't pick up any more people. But that there should deal with some of the excess that the blues can then pick up. Now, if it gets easy, we can actually delete the orange line, put the train down on another line, or put the orange line down somewhere else completely. Like where the greens are. Let's put the orange out there. That means the orange might have to do changeovers, but it should be a very little amount. I feel like there's a lot of uniques getting tossed down here, which is causing a bit of issue. All the trains pulling that central station. This is getting pretty nasty. Gotta say, this isn't pretty. Blues are flying through. It just isn't pretty. Let's shorten that blue line a bit. See, that blue picked up everything that had to leave. Oh, that train might not be able to pick up any in there. Yeah, he's going to have to go straight through. You can pick up some, but that's not going to be enough in the long run. Not the Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning. He didn't take very many people from there. And the station here as well is feeling the strain. Maybe it's time to shorten that blue line down. Which is again what I don't want to do. But, oh, it's doing a bit better. The orange line can deal with a few more of these outliers. So there's no squares over here? Yeah, because he just skipped that square. He's just carrying a whole lot of squares now. Good on you, Jack. I could screw you over really well. Sunday morning. Since 6 a.m. right now. I find it really mesmerizing, actually, just staring at it. This location here. So this is nasty. We gotta deal with this somehow. There's so many circles, and there's just... we need a solution. I don't have tunnels. A line is pointless. We need to go carriage. We need to chuck it on the blue. We can't put any more trains on the blue. Because it says, it should pop with an error message if I did it like there. Nope, doesn't. Nope. It would say I have 4. I don't know why the error message is not popping up. We've got 4 on the... oh, we have 3 on the red. And we can always put them on the green or the orange. So we can always put 2 on the orange and then really shorten up this line here. I wonder if there's a better way to order these stations, but it doesn't really look like it. They're all pretty ugly. I'm feeling what I want to put on the orange. Let's just hold on to it. We don't need to spend it right now. I just need more people picked up from here. That triangle's going to help. It definitely breaks up that blue line a bit more. I need people picked up from here. Okay, I'm going to have to deploy this guy on the orange line. There's a lot of people coming onto that orange line now. These trains need to pick them up. Pick them up, pick them up, pick them up. It's a bit of a problem over there. Oh, the orange ones are feeling it now. In the station, it takes a long time for that overcrowding to go down, which can cause issues. Oh, this line down here. Let's put you into here. Put you into there as well. No, it's picking up a lot. Square up here, sure. Square would be quite useful in the blues, actually. So square there, but it just means it's breaks up the shape order a bit more. You see where I'm talking about this balance? It's tricky, but if we can just tweak it every now and then, we can just make it a bit better. Those iterations, perfecting the design. We're up to Friday, and I think we can get through the week. Again, though, this is going to be pretty tense on Friday. It always is building up. I think I can undo that green. Green was like a Christmas tree, combined with the red. And again, here's that overcrowding. These boys are nearly caught up to one another. But there's so many shapes through here. If I had more... if I get it into the week and I can get tunnels, my inkling is to make the boy take all these ones again and change the orange to do this loop to pull those people out more. Because in a moment, we're at the Sunday, we're on the last day. This is an issue. I need you to go straight for that. He's gone for that. He's going to pick up all the people. Come on, get there, get there. There's not, you can't pick up enough people. And that is it. Oh, we got so close. We're so close there. 1,939 passengers over 62 days. That's pretty good. Our 4,000 was only over 90-something days. So that's only a third more of the time. And it's nearly double the passengers. So That is Mini Metro. Let's take a screenshot, look at the final picture. That's pretty beautiful, I gotta say. I love the visual, I can't even say the word, of the visuals, that representation. I was trying to combine those words, that visualization. That is a word, but I love the representation of all the data. It's a really beautiful way of looking at it. It's clean, it's simple. My goodness, if I had a tablet, I would love to play this on a tablet. It's just a beautiful game. It's taken my last pass, and I don't have that station included, so it just looks alone. It's a beautiful game. And so at the moment, there is 4 maps. There we are. Starting with London, which you can play a demo of. I don't know why I didn't say this at the start. There is a demo of it on their website. Go check it out. There's Paris, which I haven't even played yet. New York, which I just really enjoyed that map for some reason. And then we've got St. Petersburg, so that's our first score. Where are we on the leaderboard? Let's have a look. 400. That's all right. Then we got Sao Paulo, Hong Kong, Cairo, and then Auckland, which is a large city in New Zealand. That'll be pretty cool when that one eventually comes out. But yeah, combined with that, having the Zen and Extreme modes, that'll be a lot of fun. But it's just a beautiful, simple game. And I love to see the development of it. It's just 2 guys in New Zealand. I nearly said Australia. I am so sorry. I came from Australia. Maybe that's why I said that. Wow. I feel like I've offended someone now. 2 brothers in New Zealand developing this game. It looks really, really well done. And I'm looking forward to see it develop further. If you'd like to see more of this game, you can check the links in my description to the website and whatnot. If you want to see me play more of it, also let me know in the comments. Love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.